So I hope you can, you have the book with you, and let's begin. Welcome to the session once again. We are on page 45. Yes, you remember we are on page 45. We are done approximately about more than half the page. Just give me a moment. So we are, just a quick look at the previous things. We are on the virtue of constancy and of aim and effort, or one-pointedness of aim and effort. Master has explained that they are the same things, and we had just talked about that love is good, but will is necessary. But will has to be under the control of love and under the control of intelligence or wisdom. So the Trinity, light, love, and power, they need to be all in place. And in their place, it seems that love and light need to dominate the will aspect. But without a will, so will is absolutely necessary. Without will, nothing will happen. All right. So the next three sutras now, we will start from you must exert mental effort. So the next three sutras are now talking about the mental aspect. Yeah. You must exert mental effort to find the right solution. You must be willfully persistent, be practical, be realistic. So, again, it's a reminder that the mind is an instrument. And, when Master talks about exerting mental effort, what he's saying is you use the mind, use that instrument called the mind, use it to find the right solutions, the right methods. First of all, to find the right goal. You see, in life, many things are possible. You can say, I want to be a Aratic yogi, I want to be a billionaire, I want to be this, I want to be that. But, one pointedness means you have to choose one of them. And that is again where the mind comes in. It helps you choose the right goal. Okay, now you've decided the right goal. You are here, you want to reach here. Now, what is the right method? Is it like this? Is it like this? Is it like this? Which is the right method? What is the right way of arriving at your goal? Right? That again, your mind is going to help. So, Master says, make the right, exert mental effort. It takes mental effort. It is not obvious. It is not simple. It is not straightforward. दिमाग लगाने की जरूरत है उसके बगैर आप सही सोल्यूशन को नहीं ढूंढ पाएंगे yeah so light aspect has to be integrated with will that is when it becomes practical that is when it becomes realistic yeah and the light aspect is of course if you remember the previous chapter when we talked about honesty and non-lying accurate perception correct expression that is what it was. And another thing word master uses here is willfully persistent. So persistence is related to your, emotional will. So, the solar plexus chakra is very, very important for persistence. You see, it is sometimes we start thinking that the solar plexus chakra is our enemy and we must just make it smaller, smaller, smaller. No, not, that is not correct. It should be clean, of course, because all the stress and some of the negative emotions they will get stuck here. But it needs to be clean and strong. Yeah, and with Master Choa, from Master Choa's life, what we learn is that he always had this philosophy that I will finish what I start, and for that, persistence becomes very important because the enemy is the tendency to give up halfway. You start something, it's obvious that you are eventually going to run into problems or obstacles. So that is where persistence comes in. You say, okay, problem is there, we will solve it. But whatever we have started, we are not going to give it up. We will finish it, right? If you have too many purposes, you will not have constant. So, this in the same page, the first sutra, that was sort of a detailed explanation of this. Again, we are reminded of the importance of one pointedness. You remember we talked about focus, the power of focus? So, that this is again a reminder. You need to focus your energies onto one goal. Now, sometimes that question is in your day, you have to do many things. It is not possible that you become so, so one pointed that you forget everything else. I mean, you still have to eat, you still have to sleep. There are so many things that need to be done. You have to pay attention to your family, you have to pay attention to your work, you have to, give time to your friends, etc., etc. So, how do you do this? I think the answer there is that whatever you are doing, you do it with complete focus. Are you understanding? Right now, let us say you are a part of this book study. Focus on the book study. At this time, if you are also checking your phone, if you are also trying to talk to your family members and so on, then the thing is that it will get diluted. Yeah. So what master is telling us is if you have too many purposes, then you will not have constancy because you're doing this also, that also, that also, that also. Here you run into obstacles, you say, okay, forget it, let me focus on this. And then here, sooner or later, again you will have obstacles, again you will give up. So that is not the right way. Okay, let's move on. One of the weaknesses of people who are intelligent is that they have too many interests. They keep on jumping from one thing to another because they are so smart, so intelligent, so they have so many interests. But since their energy is scattered, nothing happens. So, this is also a very common problem. I think, apart from the things that Master is talking about, the problem also is that people who are over intelligent, they are also overconfident. I mean, I've seen this with a lot of people in my life that they are very blessed by nature. They have a very very sharp mind, but it makes them overconfident. They tend to procrastinate. They will, for example, leave things for the last minute. Oh, I will do it. It's not a problem. I can do it very quick. But at the last moment, for example, for example, I'm following up with somebody. Okay, you have to send me a presentation. Can you send it to me quickly? That person will say, oh, the date is 4 days away. I will send it to you on the fourth day. Now, on the fourth day, the person sits down and has a problem with his computer. And now, what is intelligence going to do? The computer is not working. You understand my point? So, sometimes people who are over intelligent, because they are overconfident, they tend to take things too easy. Apart from, all the things that Master is talking about, that they have too many interests, too many goals, and so. So, again, it's a reminder that light aspect, the intelligence aspect is not enough. Knowledge is not enough. Power, and power means focusing, channelizing your energies. One pointedness is crucial if you want to be successful in life. Successful means what? It means you want to be an achiever. Yeah, not just a knower, but an achiever. Are you understanding? Knowing things is easy, or let's say that is one aspect. But being able to achieve things, that requires the power aspect, the focus aspect, the one pointedness. If you look at super successful people, you read about Bill Gates or Steve Jobs, or people in history who have been super successful. They were focused. Being focused is key. It greatly increases the chances of success in life. All right. Okay, shall we move on? Now we are on page 46. So there's a small marker, and after that, when you encounter obstacles. Okay, so this entire section actually is very, very important because you read all this and you get fired up and you say, okay, now I'll be one pointed and I will not give up. And then you start on something. Whatever your goal is, you start on something, and then problems are inevitable. Obstacles, obstructions, difficulties are inevitable because things don't go to plan. When that will happen, how are you going to deal with the problem? So this section is very useful and important because this section is dealing with how to, or is telling us how to deal with problems, obstacles, how to get around obstacles. When you encounter obstacles, do not freeze. Do not be emotionally, mentally, and physically paralyzed. Remain calm. Be spiritually persistent. Be emotionally persistent. Do not let your heart shrink. Find ways and means to accomplish the task. Flow around the obstacles. Go over, under, around, and as a last resort, gently remove the obstacle. Yeah. So one of the keys, really, this sutra is like a summary of everything that we will read in the next few sutras. So let's what is Master talking about? Number one, he's saying keep calm. Why is it important to keep calm when you are in difficulty? Because it is very, very important for your mind. You see, what is the instrument that will help you overcome the obstacle or find a solution to the problem? It's your mind. So if you keep calm, and only if you keep calm, will you be able, or let's say, will it be possible for your mind to work properly? If you're not calm, and I'm sure you've seen it in your life, when you panic, when you get anxious, when you get angry, when you get irritated, the mind is not working as well as it. Okay. And the second thing is talking about here is persistence. Yeah, persistence. Now, persistence we talked about briefly a few minutes ago. It is mainly emotional, mainly coming from the solar. And the role of the heart is that when you talk about calmness, if your heart chakra is activated, Master says, don't let your heart shrink. So, shrink, of course, it's not that the physical heart is going to shrink, it's the heart chakra where it will lose activation. So, if your heart chakra stays activated, it helps you keep calm, not lose hope. Stay, hopeful. And interesting thing, Master says, be spiritually persistent. What is he trying to tell us here? What does it mean to be spiritually persistent? You see, one of the great things that Master used to talk about in his, if you attended his session, he used to say that the most important time for being regular with your practices, spiritual practices, for your sadhana is in times of difficulty. You see, usually we think of it in a different way or in the opposite way. We think, oh, right now a lot of work is to be done, lot of, I'm in some difficulty. Let me solve this problem, then I will start doing my sadhana. Today I'm very busy. I am too busy dealing with problems. No time for twin heart meditation. I will do it tomorrow. Right? That is what we tend to think. But Master says different. He says the most important time, or when you are in difficulty, when you are in times of trouble, more important to be regular with your spiritual practice. Just think about it. Because that is the time when you need your, the extra boost of divine energy. Why do we do sadhana? Because it helps us do, it gives us that extra dose, extra boost of divine energy, divine guidance, divine health, divine protection. Correct? So when your spiritual cord is bigger, it is easier for things to happen. There is a saying that nothing is impossible to accomplish with the blessings of God and Guru. So to invoke the blessings, to connect with God and Guruji, what is the simplest way? Do your sadhana. How much time does it take? For example, twin heart meditation, 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. If you do it with the CD, okay, 30 minutes. But even that, considering your day is 24 hours, okay, 8 hours of sleep, 2 hours for eating and all that, 14 hours. Out of 14 hours, you see, your 14 hours will become more productive. And most important, your persistence will be, your emotional strength, your mental strength will be much better. So, friends, this is something that I can, suggest from my experience. When there is too much to do, make the time, do your spiritual practice. That is very important. You see, and if the mind, okay, mind is calm, there is positive attitude, there is persistence. Now what? So mental effort means you are able to do better thinking, more creative thinking. Brainstorming. Have you heard the term brainstorming? You are able to brainstorm. You are able to think of many, many more possible solutions when your mind is calm, when your attitude is positive, and when you've decided to persist. You are able, you see, when the mind is not calm, it seems that our focus is on the problem rather than on the solution. So when you are calm, when you are positive in your attitude, it becomes easier, or what you are able to do is to focus on solutions instead of on the. There is this guy called Nick Wojcik. Wojcik, I think that's how it is pronounced. Nick, Nick, Wojcik. It is written as Vujicic. May I suggest, just write it down. Later, you please Google him and see his videos on YouTube and elsewhere. He's a very, very inspiring chap. The thing about him is he is born with a rare disease. He has no limbs, arms and legs. He does not have. But his emotional strength, his mental strength, and spiritual strength is very strong. And he gives credit to his spirituality. He says, "My belief in God is what enables me to function." And function means what? No arms, no legs. He is able to walk. He is able to climb stairs. He is able to. I mean, there is his attitude in life is, there is nothing I can't do. Now imagine if he did not have that positive attitude, he would just die out of depression, because he would just think, why God has been so unkind. There is nothing I can do. I don't have arms. I don't have legs. I can't do. You will see videos of him swimming. You will see videos of him doing water skiing. Can you imagine? He is giving lectures. He is doing this. He is doing that. He is focusing on what he can do rather than what he can't. There is so much he can't do. And yet he is a great inspiration, because he lives this teaching of focus on the solution, not on the problem. Yeah. And then Master gives a small thing. He says, in the end, if flow around the obstacles, go over under the, as a last resort, gently remove the obstacle. Sometimes what happens is, you are leading a team, and team has 6 7 people. One of the team members may be the obstacle or the obstruction. It happens sometimes. You're working in a group, and some group member is the obstruction. So sometimes, as a last resort, you try to work around that person, Sam, Dam, Dand, and then finally you come to Bhed. Sam means you try to explain to that person, look, this is not right, we should not behave like this. Then you try to threaten or give punishment and so on. In the end, you say, okay, friend, why don't you just sit to the side and the rest of us will do the job. So that is something like what Master is talking about. Gently remove the obstacle. Do not make a big fuss when you make a mistake. Just keep going. So that again is something I have learned a lot from Master Choa. Just learn the lesson and move on. Have you heard of Edison, Thomas Edison, the person who invented the light bulbs, apparently it seems he failed hundreds of times. And after sometime somebody said, "Why don't you give up?" He says, "No, I'm not failing. I have just learned another way in which the bulb cannot be made." So he just kept learning and moving on. And finally, he was successful. And when Master says, "Do not make a big fuss," sometimes we are caught up in guilt. We beat ourselves up. Now, that is a sign of emotional weakness. Yeah. Okay, go to the last sutra on this page. Mental and emotional effort means finding the ways and means of overcoming a problem. Be calm and continue pushing ahead. So, this is, I think, if we are people who give things up, we start something but we don't finish it. It is really because this thing is missing. So giving up means what? It means either you just abandon the project or the task, or you say, "No, no, I need help. Without help, I cannot do." So the important thing is to stay calm. You see, my colleague Charu, she took a session yesterday where she talked about sthit pragya. I don't know if some of you attended. Otherwise, the recording is available. Please go to our website and go through the recording. Sthit pragya, that means staying calm, is a very, very important aspect of achieving things, solving problems. You see, we have many bodies. You are aware of that. There's the physical body, the etheric body, the emotional or astral body, and the mental body, and the causal body, and so on. Now, the astral body, if you don't stay calm, what is happening is the astral body gets into a storm. Storm समझ रहे हैं जैसे तूफान आ जाता है. So the astral energy starts racing around. You see, if you think of the sea, the water is calm. So the sea is there, the air is there. They are two different things. But if there's air, there is a storm, it will make the water also stormy. So what happens in our case is, if there is a storm in the astral body, the mental body also gets disturbed. And the result is we cannot think straight. So there's a very nice book, Man Visible Invisible by Leadbeater. My suggestion is go through that. You will find a lot of useful information in this. All right. Okay, I think let's end here.